Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and after FormaL helped the OpTic Halo team to win the $75,000 FaZe Invitational just a couple of days ago, the big question has been raised: who is the greatest FPS gamer of all time, especially on the controller? FormaL certainly is in that conversation, but Methodz believes Shotzzy already may have that crown. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. I'm a bit not necessarily beef here really between Zero and Dave Paddy. Thought it was kind of a funny tweet though, you know, everything that guy stands for. He can hold my sack on his forehead. There was an example like kind of the context what was going down right here, having a difficult time on a Gavutu control, but you know, hopefully we get to see some more burning control, as has at least been theorized over these last several weeks, but Zero gets the job done. This also real quick here from Center, Red Dog Center Martin sighting in Manhattan today. This guy just straight up rocket up on the jet ski, like you guys know if you've been around a few years, the Doug, you know, the Center jet ski type thing, and here he is rolling around Manhattan. I believe Doug even quote tweets this and says, you know, the Summoners are begging me to show up and try out for their team, told them I'm a proud member of the Boston Breach, and hit the jet ski back to Long Island to grind and trying to become the #1 ranked player. So yeah, I mean, look at this guy, absolutely out of control right here. Doug's leading into it. Just this also real quick from the Green Wall, because last night they were at the Mavs game. I thought this was kind of cool actually, because you know, you got Hex, Dashy, and Scum of course right here, but you could see from the POV at the cameras or whatever, like when they had the hoodies on, like they were basically just advertising OpTic on the back. Thought this is pretty well done. Like they were spotted in the crowd, of course, wearing all the hoodies, so I'm sure Hex knew what he was doing right here, but thought this is pretty cool to be perfectly honest. And you know, this also from this guy's nice hoodies with all the guys in the back, so that was pretty cool to be honest, seeing these guys on the front row at the game. But of course, well, Shotzzy wasn't in attendance this time around, but this is what he had to say yesterday. Good Halo guys, congrats, FormaL, APG, Lucid, Trippy, Lunchbox, of course, the coach of the OpTic Halo team, when they win effectively like the first, it's not necessarily a major event, it's an online event, but like, you know, it's an invitational, all the best teams, $75,000, it's a pretty big deal. And you know, OpTic won this, of course, well, their first championship victory, and FormaL's first championship victory in a rather long time, especially in the Halo days. Of course, yes, it's online, but you know, still incredible performance. The final map as well here on that, I think it was you know, whatever this map is called, but the oddball, when he dropped up what, 35 in 14 I think, to win the game in pretty spectacular fashion. So his career arc has been kind of crazy, going from Halo to Call of Duty, winning the World Championship in Call of Duty and so many events, now going back to Halo and you know, obviously enjoying the game a lot more, and now looking like maybe the strongest team in the entire game. I guess Cloud9 still might go into the major as favourites, but you know, still OpTic are there and thereabouts, there's no doubt about it. Shotzzy's definitely giving the gas that he deserved, and of course we've got to talk about FormaL in some more detail, right? Because you know, from the Halo days to the Call of Duty days, back to the Halo days, like it's kind of crazy how long he's been around, right? And that's kind of the greatest of all time FPS player conversation, and it's tough to know exactly how to define like greatest FPS player, because you can look at guys like Simp in Counter-Strike, right, and say, okay, yes, he's only played really one game, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but he's just so unbelievably good at that game and has done so many things, won so many events and, you know, MVPs and stuff, that like you know, what is that conversation? So if we just limit it to like controller player, then it has to be guys like FormaL, Shotzzy right up there. This also, if you guys remember this back in the day, I forget exactly what the clip was, but this is a Gunrunner domination, right? A fantastic game. And well, here's FormaL trying to neutralize the B flag, and Cellium pops up out of this minecart and just shoots him in the side. So that was good times. And Dr. Disrespect even was gassing up. FormaL had to catch the VOD this morning. Wow, and I'm only getting started, he said. So FormaL certainly wants to bring another championship back to the Green Wall, a proper LAN championship. Most people would say right now, going into the upcoming major in I think it's Kansas City, I think, that OpTic versus Cloud9 in the finals is probably a reasonable possibility. Methodz has to say that is very good work, and he has some thoughts on the matter as well, because of course FormaL been around for many years, so has Shotzzy though, and Shotzzy, if anything, if you look at the pure accolades, has probably even had better success across the two titles, at least Halo and Call of Duty, as franchises, than FormaL has. Whether you consider Shotzzy to be above FormaL, that's another question. Methodz immediately starts off saying, okay, yeah, FormaL has to be greatest of all time, #1, no doubt, controller FPS player, but then he thinks again, hang on a second, Shotzy's actually won world championships on both titles, so does that put Shotzzy above FormaL?
I got him.
Nice, that was
Hold elbow.
Watch the fly.
Yeah, you're good there.
Go, boys.
Let me draw one shot. Pissing all over these kids, bro. Holy. Oh my god! Give me that! Give me that! Holy. I was pissing on those guys. Oh my god.
Draining.
Dude, that was some godlike Halo. I'm not gonna cap. That was some gross ass Halo. I'm not gonna cap.
Good.
That was a nutty 2 rounds of oddball, bro.
Let's go.
Good lord.
Let's go.
For FormaL in here, is FormaL the best multi-esport player ever? I think unanimously, undoubtedly. I don't think it's even close. I think Matt is easily the best multi-FPS champion of all time.
Yeah, dude.
P1 grabbing heat wave, and I just see him walking right.
Him or Shotzzy?
I heard him.
Hold on. What are we talking about? Talented or best of all time? Oh wait, hold on. Shotzzy did win champs in both.
So we're gonna play
It might be Shotzzy. Sorry, I forgot. Listen, I'm sorry. I forgot Shotzzy won champs. He has a ring in Halo and COD. It might be Shotzzy and then FormaL. You win champs in both different FPSs. We got Miguel with a tier 1 for 3 months. Welcome back to Zen City. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Wait, do we want to mute real quick, actually?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think it's Shotzzy. I take it back. I'm going to go Shotzzy, then FormaL.
So let's have a look at this then. Let's start off with Shotzzy actually, because I mean, this is kind of Shotzy's career in Call of Duty, at least in terms of premier tournaments that actually count. And we've seen, of course, in Modern Warfare, he wins the World Championship. To me, and of course, he won a few events this season. They were home series. One of them was on LAN at Los Angeles home series. The other ones were online. They had some great performances that year. Like you can see top 4 pretty much every single event. But and of course, winning champs was the main thing. But still, the World Championship in that year to me always does have a little bit of it doesn't quite have the luster of some of the other World Championships, right? Because it was online, there was no crowds. Like it was a different deal to me, that World Championship, than pretty much all the other ones we've had in Call of Duty. So yes, Shotzzy did win the World Championship in Call of Duty, but I always feel like that one, which is kind of sad to think about, but it doesn't quite have the same value, I think, as some of the other ones have had. That's at least my opinion. You guys might disagree, but the Mickey Mouse ring and all this type of stuff is kind of said, and it's kind of a meme for a reason. Of course, look, Shotzzy has now won a major tournament with all 12 teams in attendance on LAN in Call of Duty at the major one, and then, well, so far this year looks like pretty much the best player in the game. He's right up there. Dashy, Cellium, Shotzzy, number 3 in some, or well, top 3 in some order or another. So yeah, Shotzy's unbelievable. I know that FormaL has said that he thinks that when all is said and done, when Shotzzy retires, of course he's still so young and has such a long career ahead of him, but FormaL I'm pretty sure did say that when Shotzzy retires, he believes that Shotzzy will be the greatest FPS controller player or whatever of all time. But right now, probably FormaL thinks that he holds that accolade, and probably understandably so. We look at Shotzy's Halo days as well, so you can see a few number 1s here for Shotzzy in Call of Duty, respectable stuff. These are his Halo days. We see MLG New Orleans 2018, of course the World Championship in 2018 was the big one that he won. That was like a proper LAN, World Championship event, $500,000. They won for that one with Renegade Eco and Stella, effectively the Cloud9 team of today, but with them Penguin they have now instead of Shotzzy. So, that pretty crazy stuff. Shotzzy, World Champion on both titles, both franchises, that is absolutely absurd, and Methodz believes that's kind of enough to elevate him to number 1 player of all time across all FPS games, I suppose. But still, of course, still a relatively short career. Let's compare this to what FormaL has to offer, though. So this is FormaL in Halo. You can see that competing way back in the day, and honestly, some of these results, for 2011, are pretty impressive stuff. 5th, 6th, 3rd, 1st, of course, MLG Orlando wins that event, wins a launch invitational as well back in 2014 on Halo Master Chief Collection, I guess that is. And so yeah, some victories for FormaL here. Not an incredibly long Halo career, because of course Sync's coming back to HES at a major Raleigh, right, in 2021. In the meantime, he's played Call of Duty. But the thing is, the careers, I suppose, of FormaL and Shotzzy probably had a better Halo career in that he won the World Championship and all this type of stuff. FormaL was way back in the day. But if you compare their Call of Duty careers, to me, longevity is such a crucial factor here. And when you look at FormaL's COD stuff, this is just ridiculous. This is honestly, it's so small, guys. I couldn't really make it any bigger. But I just wanted to get the point across, because you can see the number 1s here on the left-hand side of FormaL's Call of Duty career. This is starting from 2014 through to 2017, the kind of dynasty era, effectively. Straight from coming to Call of Duty from Halo, he immediately had success. Shotzzy didn't have success quite so quickly. Honestly, it didn't really take him all that long, right? Because he comes in 2020, he was the Rookie of the Year that season. But you guys well know that as soon as when he came in Modern Warfare, he was called Botsy or whatever for the first event or so, because he had a pretty tough time transitioning. FormaL seemed to have less difficulty getting up and running. One of his first events at Gfinity 3 dropped a 1.3 and was the MVP. So he had some great success in even Ghost, his very first event of the season, winning the Season 3 playoffs as well, then gets straight onto the OpTic Dynasty and just gets all these number 1s for the next few years, and of course caps it off with the World Championship victory in Infinite Warfare. So that's the thing really, you can't actually quite see the World Championship there, but you guys can probably just make out World Championship victory number 1 here in this day. So it's difficult to say, to be honest. To me, I think just because FormaL's been around so much longer and his Call of Duty career is so much more accomplished than Shotzy's is, I would probably still give it to FormaL for now, but give it a few years. I think that's the point that FormaL was really making, that look, Shotzzy will eventually overtake him if his COD career continues on the trajectory it currently is. But, you know, for now, probably FormaL still takes the accolades, and maybe understandably so after the performance he put up against Cloud9 just last night. Wanted to mention this actually real quick. I guess I'll finish out the video with this clip of Drazah getting a very nice 1v4 last night, but thought it was pretty cool actually. There's some, you know, money 8s or search and destroy money 8s going on. There was some drama actually about this because they're like Pred or Sib. They didn't pay up someone in money 8s or something. I saw that on the timeline yesterday. Then all the tweets got deleted, which is kind of unfortunate because I just kind of wanted to talk about it. But money 8s have certainly been going on lately. Good to see this kind of getting back in business finally, right? And players actually streaming this, because back in the good old days, like, you know, Black Ops 3 era and stuff like this, like search and destroy scene was kind of the lifeblood of the scene, if anything. There was always stuff going on, and like nowadays you don't really see all that much of it. So yeah, money 8's back in business. That's good to see. Like at the 1v4 that Drazah got, I'll finish out the video with. This just to mention as well, actually, from Round 11 stats, untraded first bloods in the CDL season so far. Speaking of Drazah and Octane rides, like and the disappointments that they have had on Los Angeles Thieves. Look at this actually, kind of crazy stuff. Thieves right at the bottom. So the statistic shows how often each team wins the round after getting the first blood and then staying alive for at least 5 seconds. So effectively, like, let's say you get the first blood, you run away and you don't die for 5 seconds, that's considered an untraded first blood. So like you've now got a 4 versus 3 advantage, and you know, how often do you convert those situations? So if you get a first blood and you immediately die, then you know, that 4v3, like, okay, technically you might not have converted the 4v3, but like it was a 4v3 immediately a 3 versus 3, so it doesn't really count as a 4 versus 3. You could well argue. In this case, like it is a proper 4 versus 3 situation. So Mutineers are the best at converting them. They win 83% of the time in those situations. Ravens surge right behind. OpTic and FaZe kind of middle of the pack here. But Thieves and New York especially kind of way behind the rest of the field. Like 64%. You're winning less than 2/3 of the rounds where you have a clear 4 versus 3 advantage. That's pretty tragic, right? And the difference there, especially on defense as well, right? When you like 60% on defense is pretty shocking. Like Ultra, to be fair, aren't too far above them, and especially because they're pretty good at search and destroy, you would think. But like you know, 60% of rounds only you're winning when you have a 4 versus 3 on defense. Like you probably should be closing those out more. In fairness, New York have an actual way worse one on offense. 55% on their offense is absolutely tragic. As in, you know, only half the rounds they have a clear 4v3 they managed to win. So I guess they're just throwing away lives all across the board. Not the prettiest stats for these guys, but does just go to show what a lot of people think about Los Angeles Thieves. Really, that they're decent at getting these advantages and then converting them and playing out the second phase of the round is really where they do tend to struggle. And just to finish up with this as well from Doug Turn to Martin, but plenty of other clips to probably chuck on the screen at the end of the video. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Told you YouTube gods, this is a good video. I'd also like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.
Oh, he's so much.
Right there. At that truck.
Oh, no, you don't.
Right there.
So winnable, bro. I'm not even kidding.
Playing like Pog. Okay. The guy's gonna push up. Oh my.
Got this.
Wait, they're tweaking right now. It's John and Spart, bro.
You probably run through B, bro.
Wait, it's a route and a half for us, bro.
This is a route and a half.
Oh, no, they're tweaking right now, Charles. Yo, Spart loves tower, dude.
Oh, bro. You.
I think there might be a sub on Cold's body bottom end too. Maybe.
Yeah, it's in that, and it's in their double doors.
Yeah,
Right
their
in-
double doors like.
Right here, right here.
Ooh.
Let's get John,
John, bro.
let's get John.
John.
He was mid. You hear him on B, I'm pretty sure.
Oh! I love it, Bobby! Oh my god!
Damn!
Bobby Tupac!